All right, guys. Hey, happy Monday. First off, I apologize. We are noticeably, we're 45 minutes behind schedule. We had a little technical issue. Well, Money Crypto, my partner, had some issues with his modem on his end. There was some problems there. So I apologize that we're late. For those of you that are looking for this at 11:30, we are trying to tighten that up a little bit. We just ran into a little unexpected delay today. So I apologize. I know the majority of people seems to, as we look at our numbers, seem to watch after the fact, but I do very much appreciate those of you that show up to see it live and give us some interaction and some feedback. So my apologies to you guys. We are going to tighten that up. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get started since we're so far behind schedule. Now, first up, I've got Ethereum. Now, I did a pretty good analysis longer term on Ethereum on Friday in addition to the Bitcoin video. But I'm going to look at it here because James M., who's one of our very, very strong members, is giving me a very kind of an unusual. It's like last chance on this is what he's noting. So I've got a 15-minute here on ETH. Now let me put this in context. So this is how I left this on just bringing up Motive Wave over here. So what he's looking at is this little section right here, because this is somewhat unusual. Like to call this the 2 in here seems a little suspect. It's very shallow, obviously. You've got, let me just wick that off here. So just to dip into this just a little bit, somewhat surprising. I mean, with crypto, you just never know, right? You can't count on a traditional 50 to golden zone on the 2. We just see too many times where it's just an impatient market and people just will buy it on the slightest sign of weakness. Now, we are sitting here hovering right now as we speak with this all-time high. We're slightly below it. Ideally, you'd be buying it down here, but you got to remember the market may not give it to you here. So with that said, I just wanted to put in context the tiny little range that we're looking at here, because I'm going that. What am I looking at there? That's the hell was I looking at? Oh, that's a daily. Now. So here's James M. giving us kind of an alternate to that unusual topping action and the potential that there's something else going on here. Oh, shit. Let's see. I'm going to have to go to a 30 to get this in context. So let's see what he's doing here. Okay. So he's working. Let me take this down here a little bit. Let's go down to a 4 hour. So here, let's reset that. Okay. So now bringing this back over here. So this ABC, which maybe we get a flat, right? So the first bit of it here that seems to set up the rest of the pattern is the 3 here. Then we get a retrace here that is, far enough as far as I'm concerned. That may or may not be exactly within 90%. But if you're going to call this a flat, then we're looking for a 5 here. So that's kind of skinny in there. Now I am on a 4 hour here, but you can just look at it, right? So we essentially have a box of a correction. So he's giving an alternate here saying, okay, rather than, let me open this up here, this being an ABC, right, into a 3, that we might look at this and maybe we can dig out a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, i.e. a leading diag here. So this would all, let's see if I'm putting this in the right context here. So let me bring this over here. So this A here would be this right here. So you follow with me there. All right. So this would be an A, right? Here's his A. I always put my corrections in yellow so I can spot them. So there's the A. This would be an expanded B wave. So we're changing it slightly. So since this is the reference, so this would go up like this. We'd go up for the expanded B, right? I.e. this 3, the C would be looking for something lower. And then the 2 potentially comes down further. Well, so for that to be the case, if we're going to have an expanded flat here, again, what sets it up is the 3 in the A. If that's going to hold as an A and this is a B, well, then the potential is here for this initial move down. Well, essentially, it's a double bottom, but we get one lower low here, is then perhaps leading diag to start us into the 1 of the 5 that we would require here for this C, if it's going to complete as an expanded flat. So now that said, here, let me get this back over here. So there's the A, here's the expanded B. Now, can we make this work? Now I am going to take it back to his 15-minute because he's done a lot of detail work on this. which doesn't surprise me. He's prone to doing that. So ABC into a 1, WXY. It's a little... Oh, okay, we'll go with it, right? So it looks like you can't finish with a 5 there, so he's making do. That's really all you got to work with there. So then yet again, a WXY into the 2. So we're coming down here for the 2, WXY into the 4. So you just following the lines, and then we finish with a WXY. Oh, let's see. I know that's a little hard to see here. Let me... Oh shit! Here, what? Okay, so here's what I'm trying to show you. It's a little tricky to see. So if this is the 1 through the 3, now on the kickback here, we're coming right to the 786, which he has in this lighter blue, not coming down here. So could we have the leading diag completed here? Well, it's either a 1 or an A. All right, so the 5 completing here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a contender. Now, this potentially would be the 2 here, so this is going to need some legs to start really running down here. Now, it looks like 1, 2. All right, so if that's going to go, we're looking for something a little more impressive than this. Now, that you can just look at it and see we're over 100. It doesn't have to be an impulse here. We could have an ending diagonal here to finish the C if this holds as the B, right? If that's going to be the B. It looks like he's giving me 2 counts here. So is it 1 or is it A? Right? If it's 1 and that's the 2, okay, well then if that were the case, this would most likely be the 1, 2 working on the 3, 4, 5 of the 1 of the C, right? Depending on how far that's going to go down. So you're kind of in no man's land here. Oh, I'm gonna tighten this up a little bit, clear some of this up. Okay, so since we've established here that we're well in the criteria, so a clear 3-wave swing here with this breaking that prior low. 1, 2. All right. So if we try to label that, right, which if you're working through alternate counts here, this is certainly very valid. Let's put that in something like an orange here. So we recognize there's 2 counts on the board here. If that's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's say we got down here and we finished there. Now this would be, yet again, it wouldn't improve the unusual depth of the second at the larger degree. So if we're going to put in the C here, okay, well now you've got a true flat. That seems less likely to me. You never know. But if this is 1, 2, we need it's more likely you're looking at something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're down here finishing lower down here in this range. How do you call it, right? So I don't know that I love. I mean, you could take this trade right here and have very low risk, right? So it's. I mean, the advantage of it here, we'd be shorting up around all-time highs, which, I mean, what do I want to say there? What I wouldn't be doing is just going balls deep here and going long here. So I think if I had to pick a side to take here, I'd be looking more for the short, but I'd be very disciplined about the stop because we're dealing with a market at all-time highs here, and there's no reason for this to take a dramatic sell-off here, but shit happens. There's just no way to have any definitive reason to be looking at this thinking, well, it's very prone for a sell-off here. There's nothing in the on-chain metrics that I've seen that would suggest that we're setting up for a big sell-off here. So it seems to me it's just a matter of trying to come down into looking for better entry prices. So anything down here that we could complete. Oh no, let's put that back in. Let's go back to that 30. Right. Really, you'd like to see this come down a little bit lower, something along these lines. So we'd get an A, B. Now again, right, if this is the 1, does it seem likely that we'd finish here? I mean, anything's possible here, but I sure would like to see it. Well, let's just measure it. When in doubt, use your tools. Right. So if this would be kind of then you'd have something along these lines, right? We'd have the A, the expanded. Now we're coming down here. Well, then you kind of look at it and you say, oh, this is like just a big rectangle, right? Flat, right? Truly a flat. I mean, it's an aggressive trade. It's not for everybody, all right? That's for someone who is comfortable trading with leverage. I'd go, I don't know, 4 or 5 times leverage on that seems reasonable. And you're looking for a reasonable shot down here, somewhere down in this range. Coming back into this prior consolidation seems very reasonable. So it's a ballsy trade. Note here, right? So the Stokes are, this is so whippy, right? That maybe for entry, that would be helpful. I wouldn't be bailing on a short just because we're now, below 30 in the Stokes, right? I'd be more mindful of where we are with the RSI. The Stoke, right? I mean, so whippy. I think I don't use Stokes much myself, but for the RSI to come down here and get below, what does he got set at 30? That might set you up for what you'd be looking for here, which is if I can get 5 here, am I going to retrace into 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that? It's good work, James, right? I mean, I know that's something you'd be comfortable taking. And it kind of fits with what we're looking at here on the idea that this is unusual. So to get a flat to come down and get lower, I mean, there's all sorts of structure down here that we can kind of play off of for this to go lower. But really, ultimately, what are we looking for? Just a straight retrace. Get that right on that, right? So somewhere down in here, again, kind of keying back on this structure would be right at the 50 here, a little bit lower here. We're in the golden zone. We want this to be somewhere a little bit lower. It's just a friendlier spot to be a buyer down here. I want you coming down like that, and I can get you down. Coming down like that. Come here. Something like that, right? Right in line with this. So we can see the consolidation here. Ideal spot for a buy. So my guess is, right, so I know James is a long-term bull. He's looking for the ride down to set up the ride up. Right, get that both ways. There's your trading double. So that's the good-looking work. It's no surprise, right? So he's a very successful trader. And so whatever he posts, I'm going to look at. Now, he's also giving me his favorite, his beach house favorite, and that is the graph. Let's see, top left chart here. So did he give it to me here? No. Okay. So let me come over here. So let me grab that. We'll get an update on the graph because I'm looking long and hard here as well. So where is the graph? So the graph top left. Okay. So we're going to go here. I got to copy it to get in there. So bear with me. Come on. I feel like I'm hurrying because we're behind schedule, but we've got quite a few contenders, a lot of members. We have a lot of new members coming in off of our promo, which I'm going to pause here and we'll do a little discussion about that because it's only running for another couple of days. But because we're behind, I just wanted to get started here. So I don't know what that is. But apparently somebody fell off the rocker there. Okay, so what are we doing here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, same thing, right? So this could be a leading diag. I know that's coming up short. Now, a purist, right? That's going to be a problem, like since we don't make that. For a purist, you want this to be up here to complete that structural diag. I'm not such a purist, right? So I wouldn't look at this and say, well, it can't be a leading diag because we don't make the upper trend line. But some would. Now, 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's see. So he's giving. I guess he's giving me an alternate. Oh no, he's calling this. So he's calling this completed as an ABC. So the one at this degree. So this is this always confuses me. I have to change the color. Or I lose track of where I am. So 1, 2, 3. This is nice work. All right. So ending diag into the 4 here. ABC. So this needs to be ABC into the 2. So he's got your, I guess this is where I'm not exactly sure how to work with that. Okay. So we come in here for the 2. So all we're looking for here is an ABC. So if you've been watching along here, looking for an entry here in the graph, which likely a long-term contender to at very least have some exposure to, if you don't like this setup, I mean, that is a 12-hour here. So there's a pretty good, so James is an interesting combination between an Elliottian and some of the more unique geometry applications from Monte Crypto. So he has a nice blend of the two, right? So he makes the most of all of it. So if we're coming off of this corrective here, and this is going to hold as the hard low, well, 1, 2 doesn't seem unreasonable, right? We can get that going. You would want to get a new low down here just to kind of freak people out. Coming into this zone now, everybody's a little concerned. Oh shit. Those that are not Elliotticians are not going to look at this and recognize the leading diagonal. They're just going to see, oh, failed breakout. So we're going to come down and test the lows. Well, I can, just as there are buyers here buying off of that, because there will always be those that don't know better. There will be sellers here because there will always be those that don't know better. Right? So you can kind of see how it sets up. Just one more great example of why buying breakouts is or again, for every time I show that, I'll get an email or a reply from someone showing me one that popped, right? You're going to miss some here, but over time, this is a horrible, 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 horrible place to enter the market. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Always, always the worst place, right? It's such a sucker move. Like, it's of all the things. So if you're nothing else you're watching here, please stop buying breakouts. I only say that because I've been that guy buying the breakout, saying, well, let's test it. Let's find out. Let's see if it works. It doesn't work. If you're listening here, for whatever reason, trust me on this. I know. I said I was the same guy. I say, oh, fuck you, man. I'm not taking your word for it. I'm gonna try it myself. Right? Don't be that guy. That was me. Right now, here I am saying, okay, I've been that guy. Don't do it. It's just, you're just going to lose money over time. And if you get away with it one time, all it's going to do is reinforce the habit. You're going to keep doing it, and you're going to end up like this guy. Maybe that's the way he used that. So any weakness down here into this structure, I mean, you can just kind of look at all this down here and say, wow, if I come into any of this support down here, I'm interested. Set it up, right? It's coming down, right? Retail thinks, oh shit, well, it's going down. Can't buy that. Nice setup here. One to be on your radar. This is a really interesting project. And if you don't know enough about it, do a little digging. Good setup, James. I like this a lot. I'm with you. I'm already in. That would be a place that I would add. Okay. Always solid work from James. Let me keep moving here since we're behind schedule. So CZA. Okay, good. We got CZA. Has been with us for some time here. Very, very solid technician. We're doing comp to the tether on Binance. Okay, let me copy this here. Usually I don't have to do much here. Pop that up here. What do we got? An 8 hour here? Well, so right off the bat, note that the additional work that he put in here to account for every swing. He likes the tiny numbers. Those are a little tiny for me. But okay, so I'm going to raise these just so you guys can see those a little bit better. Let's go sub, and then let's take this one up to micro. Okay, and then now we're synced. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we got? Well, this is a tricky one because 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you see the overlap. So you're kind of left with this going, oh, it's a process of elimination. So it doesn't work as 3, 4, 5 as a traditional impulse, but right off the bat, it sure looks like I get an impulse in the 1. So let's see. I think CZA, or let's open that up. I think you can work this as a 5, 3, because that sure looks like a 5, right? So if I zoom in there, and it could be just the numbers moved when I moved it around here, but it looks like you've got 5 here. This is a skinny 3, no doubt. We are on an 8 hour here. You can probably dig something better out of that. But this sure looks like 5, right? So it's often the easiest thing to do is spot the 4, right? So because this looks like classic 4. Maybe not a lower time frame. That could be a triangle. So you can spot the 4. Now work backwards. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right off the bat, looks like 5, skinny 3, 5, 3. Now do we get another 5? Well, we do, or it's a little tricky. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 1, 2. So you'd have to do it 1, 2, 3. That has to be the 4, 5. All right, so 53535 leading diag into this pivot gives us that one. Again, skinny on the 2. Yeah, I'm just I'm a little, because we're behind schedule. I'm not digging down to a lower time frame here, but that's usually what you're looking at. Let's just get our regs on here. I'm looking at that. All right, a little skinny for the 2, but I kind of. All right. Well, so there's some structure here. So tested. All right. We get a little rip. Now, so would I be a buyer here? No, I wouldn't. Right. Because that, this is, we as humans, we have this tendency to kind of hindsight bias. Like, oh yeah, look, you could have been a buyer here. Well, particularly for new technicians, you look at it and your brain rationalizes it for you. Oh yeah, well, retrace, sure, I would have been a buyer here. Over time, you recognize the setups that you would or wouldn't take. There's no way I would have been sitting there buying that at the 23, structure or not, right? It's just not good enough for me to buy that, right? I'd have been looking for something like this, right? Now I get that, different story. But since I get a new high here and I'm kind of process of elimination, I can work through the diag. I wouldn't take this one, but this one would be very interesting to me. So if I just zoom in on that and say, okay, well, what would be the tell there? How could you approach that? What would we get? Double bottom at the 50? Tricky, right? So even if you didn't like that one, I mean, are you going to do it here? Here, is this a truncation? Probably not, right? Truncation, last resort. So you probably, that's part of the impulse that's going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might even have to use that as 1, 2, 1, 2. Even if you missed it, right? Because again, that hindsight bias, don't let your own mind fool you. Oh yeah, I would have bought that. Yeah, oh sure, and I would have known that was the top, right? Of course, I would have sold that. Probably not. Probably not. But based on where we are, is there a trade setting up? Okay, so the count works 3, 4, 5. So I get all the way through. I'm going to take that up a degree too. I get all the way up to a 1. Now it starts to clarify a little bit better. Now here on an 8-hour where I can get a clear, actually, that looks to me more like you have a triangle there, A, B, C, D, E. Now maybe you need it. Let's see. So why would I instinctively just go to move that? Because it's a potential truncation, and truncation is only if there's nothing else, right? This could be A, B, C, D, E with a little skinny little E. I suppose it doesn't matter here as would relate to us over here. I think this is a solid. So we're coming down to what do we got here? So this is the prior one. So let's pull that off. What do we get here? Oh, right. It just looks different on somebody else's chart. So you guys see what we have here. So through all of that, where you're struggling through all of this, you're saying, okay, looks like that could be a 5. I'm looking for a 3 to come down. Where does it go? All right. I mean, how many, just think about it. For any of you, members, of course, how many times have I shown that? I can't even put a number on it. I would have to guess 15,000 at least. Now, so 15,000, are you fucking kidding me? Well, look how many are right here in this chart. We've done close to 3,000 videos, right? There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 just here right in front of me. And I guarantee you there's more in there as well. Right? Note, not the 618. Do you see what's happening there? So all the new traders who read in a book somewhere, just put your stop a tick or two below the 618. That's who's getting stopped out there. I hadn't heard about that golden zone thing. Never, ever, ever in the same way. This is guys, right? I just never buy a double top, especially at an all-time high. It's just the ultimate retail sucker move in the same way that you don't sell at a golden zone or put your stop a tick under the 618. You're just begging to be bent over. You don't buy here at a golden zone. You don't buy here at a golden zone or here at a golden zone or here at a triple top. These are just amateur moves. It's not that difficult to say, no, I'm not going to be a buyer at a double top, at a double top, at a double top, at a double top, at a double bottom. You just don't do at a double bottom. You'd never enter the market there. what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I got a contender for a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a little diag to bring me down here. So a little contracting diag into the A. This is good detail work. This is a little tricky in here. What are we on, an 8 hour? When I can see the waves out here on these longer time frames, they're infinitely more significant to me than if I'm down here on a 15-minute, right? It's too squirrely, changes all the time. Out on an 8 hour, this is pretty solid here. So what's the next hurdle we have to get through? And where is absolutely the time that you're not going to be a buyer into the next golden zone? Right? You see, if you want to be a buyer down here, you buy here, not here. But this is what it's not that they're stupid. It's just that they're uninformed, right? They don't know it's there, right? So this, if you don't know where this algorithm is, what it did last, you are walking through a minefield with blindfolds. You don't know where it is. Where is it? What did it do last? You have to understand this, right? I mean, if you get nothing else from coming to these live streams, nothing else, it should be the significance of median lines, because what is this right here? Of course, that's a golden corner. As will that be when it gets there? These are things that should be burned into your brain so that you don't do them, because it's very easy. The temptation, I completely understand the temptation. Fuck it. Let's just see what happens. Right. Maybe you're a little bored. Maybe it's like, oh, you read something on Twitter or some site. You saw some, comps looks like it's one of the big winners here. So you just roll the dice. You roll the dice here. Unless you know it's there, then I'd like to think you're not going to be a buyer here or a seller here. Okay, A, B, well, it's funky. So what do we have here? Just consolidation, right? Really this whole thing is consolidation. You just kind of look at it that way and say, well, what are we doing? This is just algo ping pong, right? We see this in the futures market every day. It's just ping, 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 ping. So this is just software pinging back and forth. Nobody's winning, but nobody's losing. Consolidation. Oh, this is, I'm sure he's got this. Oh, he's using a channel here, but for those of you, I know that CZA knows this, right? So I'm not correcting his work, but of course we do have a golden corner here. Now I say that and you go, oh shit, man, look at that golden corner. We got 80% odds of getting to that median line. Well, that's true, but we also have a golden corner in both of these. So 80% is not 100%. Somebody's going to lose here. Now, you could have been right here. Now, do you see here how it's too narrow? Always with a corner, with any of the median line trades, you want a little more time. That's why, given the choices here, I'm out here. Right, that's the last one. So I have more. The angle, it plays better for the potential reach of that target. Now he's interesting. So he's set his tools slightly different than mine, in that it doesn't appear he's showing you the targets. So I have my target here up in this bright green. So I can look, he's got that as well, that's interesting. Oh, nice CZA. Okay, so this would be the 175, the high probability zone. I kind of like his colors now that I'm figuring it out. The 1618, 175 zone for the potential third, but not of this one, of this one. So if this is going to hold as a 1-2, right? Always a question mark. We don't know, right? This is a snapshot in time. An Elliott count is always just a snapshot in time. Right now, this reads like, well, it's not the prettiest impulse to start, but it works. 1-2, we get the big spike here, and then it takes a lot of time to get over to that 5. But I've got the ingredients here. Now, is that ideal to come into a double bottom? No. Can you understand why it's stopping there? Because I promise you, the average person is looking at, price action traders looking at that, and here's what they're concluding. And it's not that they're wrong. It's just you got to include both. What's the price action guy thinking? Oh, look at this. Look at all this structure here. Right. And again, I'm not saying the price action guy's wrong, right? I'm a price action guy, right? You can't ignore price action. So structure and context are what matter. So here, price action guy, well, we had resistance here, support, resistance, support, got through. Now we're coming back to support again. Now, do we hold? Well, the Elliott count, maybe it helps you a little bit. It's just, you see, if I didn't think it was it helped here, I would just take it off and say, well, why do I even need it? I got median lines. I got golden zones. I know what the algo did last. Why do I even need the Elliott count? I mean, I suppose, each trader has to make the decision themselves as to whether or not that's helpful. To me, it's invaluable here because I see the pattern that is potentially there to complete. Now, as I try and tell you, the market at its simplest does nothing ever more than just that. Swing, retrace. Now, it's either going to break this pivot or this pivot, but the market can be boiled down to that basic essence at every time frame on every degree, always, right? It's all it ever does is swing and retrace. Which side breaks, right? Swing, retrace, right? Now here, look, no side breaks. You say, well, wait a minute, you just told me that's all the market ever does. Yeah, we have a swing, it can't get through, so we can carry on with the retrace. Now, which way does it go? So as an Elliottian, I look here and say, nobody knows which way it's going to go. But in the context of what's come before, which is what everyone who's not an Elliottian loses, oh, sure, they still have all the price action, but they're losing the pattern recognition. And these are patterns that have repeated hundreds of billions of times. If you think about how many assets, how many time frames. So if this is a pattern that I know is prone to repeating, why wouldn't I want to take advantage of that? Why would I just go, oh, fuck Elliott Wave, it's too complicated. You don't need that in crypto. Just give me why would you not add that into your arsenal? Why? I literally asked that to myself. Why would somebody look at all this and not realize the benefit? Typically, the answer is they're just lazy. They're not willing to put the work in. Here's what I can tell you. CZA has studied his ass off to be able to do this. He didn't come to us with this in his back pocket. He's worked, right? So he knows what he's doing here. That's we're not a feel good, everybody's happy, come into our Discord and all we're going to do is kiss your ass and tell you how great you are. No, we're going to challenge you. The belt system challenges you all the time. And we don't just go, oh, well, okay, thanks, man. Thanks for paying for that membership. So we'll just pass you just because we want to be nice to you. So you'll pay again. No, that would be a disservice to you. We're going to fail you every time until you get it right for your benefit, not for ours. We have people that are pissed off. God damn it. I failed. What did I get wrong? I get those emails on a regular basis. You show me what I got wrong. I know I got that right. We don't fail you if you get it right. We're doing it for your benefit. I'm going to get on these rants, Money Crypto. I end up here. I try not to do it. I get on them. I don't know how I end up here. Okay, all right. So it's just I just want you guys to learn here. Okay, so 1, 2. What based on what just happened last year, so you're a little. I mean, there's not much there. So you need this to get through. So if you're already a little bit late to the buy, here's where you want to be a buyer. Why? Because look how small the risk is relative to, if you say, oh, hey, I'm going to wait till it gets up here and it breaks that golden zone. Okay, there's a place for that. But now where's your stop? Where's your stop? Are you going to use the market or are you going to use some random number that's you're going to trade the market? You're going to trade your wallet, right? As I will often say. What are you going to use? I can tell you, you're better served to use the market, not your wallet, not some random percentage of your account base. So when you're trading here, so I don't know, man. Well, you're not going to put your stop down here. See, it's the ability to get in and okay, if you get stopped out. So then your first thought is, oh fuck, man, my stop was too tight. I should have given it more room. Right? I mean, that I get those a lot as well. Come down, oh, I got stopped out right before it went. Well, the problem is not necessarily the stop placement. The problem is that if it went, why weren't you back in? All right, so you got to be able to take that stop, and if it's still valid, you got to go again, right? Because okay, so let's say you got stopped out twice. As long as they're not giant losers, the entire game of trading is small loser, small loser, small loser, small winner, small winner, small loser, big winner. That's the only way you survive. That's the only way you make money over time. If you let one of these get away from you, you're fucked. It's almost impossible to get it back. Essentially, what you're going to need to do is refund your account. And it's all self-inflicted. There's no reason for you to do this other than you don't want to, your ego, right? Oh, I don't want to get stopped out because I know it's going high. I know it. I know it's going higher. Right? As soon as you hear yourself thinking, I know where it's going, you should immediately reconsider where your stop placement is. If you think you know where it's going first, you're fooling yourself. Nobody knows where it's going. Nobody. All we get is probabilities. And here, what we're looking for is we're trying to identify things that we know happen in the market every day and then trade the probabilities. All right, I got to keep moving. I'm going to be here for 3 hours. Very nice work, CZA. Okay, let me get on to Diamond Lee. Okay,
we actually have a tip, $15 for Sand USD.
Sand,
I'm not sure which one's the longest history, but it's been moving like the last
I saw that on my. If you guys have looked at the update on Lunar Crush, but they did a nice job of the relaunch or whatever they've done. I happened to catch that. So it's Sand. Oh shit! Let me do it here. Is this a copy? Yeah, that's a copy. So this is a copy. So just to finish here, CZA, that's great work, man, as usual. Very nice work. So this is SAND.
Yeah. So from what I'm seeing,
what do we want? Dollar
Poloniex, USDT Poloniex seems to have quite a bit. Let me look at. Actually, go to Binance USDT.
Binance?
Yeah.
I think that the way they list it in TradingView is, I'm pretty sure that the first one that comes up is the highest volume. Okay.
Well, I was looking for most history, so
I see.
But yeah, he said he's long and looking to get longer, so I'm sure he's just more. He's not macro thinking, but just.
Okay, that's out of log. Well, I think we got to look at that in log, right? So at the very least, what it does is kind of show you, okay, do I even want to deal with that? He's long at this. Okay, we got to look at this in log, right? It's just too big. But I'm not going to include this, right? So this is where I would start it right here. Okay, 1, 2, something completed there. Let's just look. All right, so first up. Okay, so the first question you're asking yourself is always, right, is it technical? Is it? Not there yet, right? Second target. All right, I wouldn't bet against that. Why? Why? So why? See, why would you be a seller here? Oh, because I think the 20% is going to happen here, not the 80%. Right. So what? Not a good place to be looking at a short. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. So it looks like. Well, I would just keep it simple right here. There's no reason to complicate this. So let's just go. All right. So often just lay it out like this. Okay. So here's a roadmap. Now, does that work? So if this looks okay. So it looks like we've got 1, 2. Oh shit. 3. Looks like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me take that down. Let's go. And let's go here in, oh shit, we're going white. So 1, 2, looks like you'd have to go 3, 4, 5, right? So, no, that way. So you'd have to finish here. So it looks like it's A, B. Let's zoom in there a little bit. All right. So it's easy to kind of lose it if you don't label them. 1, 2. See, I need them. Here, let me do it this way here so you guys get the point, right? So I need this little one inside, right? I need the inside one to give me the complete, the impulse that I need in the third. Now, so if I can see it out here at this degree, all the better, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need the 3 here. I get the 4, looks solid. It's just, this is just habitual for me. So I do this because I want to see how did it trade, right? A little shot here, but this isn't necessarily an algo play there. The algo would use the dominant anyway. So, but it's a decent, from an Elliott perspective, I've got a good looking, let's take that up a degree. So I've got a potential 1. Now, do I like that as the 2? Not really, but just looking at it. Okay. Looks like that's A, B, C. All right. Sometimes it's just, you plant them there and kind of say, all right, would that work? Well, it would be shallow, right? As we're seeing this, right? I remember this. very well, going back to 17, 18, impatient market, right? Shallow twos. One, A, we got to expand the B into the 2. So you end up with a shallow 2 here. Well, this is how I would keep it. Let's put that in yellow here. I don't see any reason to not go with that, although it's not ideal. So coming off of that, one similar, right? We get a very sideways 2. It looks like you have to go A, B, C into that 2, working on 3, 4, 5, which would get you there. Again, just force a habit. All right, so I do this. Comes from Motive Wave, where it will always wick off the 1 and the 2 for you. So I end up just doing the 1s. So you end up with a chart that you can work with, right? And significant levels are already wicked off, right? So just looking at this, right? You see the confluence here. So again, I'm not saying don't incorporate price action to what you're looking at. Well, so there's just pure price action. But yet again, right? So there's the price action guy going, okay, I got it. I see support. I see resistance. But why wouldn't you include all of the additional benefit that comes from, oh, hey, well, I got a corner pocket here. I've got an Elliott count that supports this. I've got a potential algo play. I've got targets up here. Why would you just see if you're a price action guy, where's the target? Where's your target? What are you using? Fibs? Okay. Right, then you're not just pure price action. So again, I always go, well, you come up short. Like, how would you know where to put a target there if you're not using something just like a simple pitchfork? Right? As you've often heard me say, it's the most underused tool in technical analysis, yet every package has it. Very, very, very small percentage of people actually use it, which is to our advantage, which is why I harp on it so much, because I don't want you to be one of those people who doesn't use it. Looks at it and goes, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do with that. All right, next. Okay, get me to something I understand. Oh, show me a moving average crossover. See, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it looks like that's still going. There's nothing says that that's done. That could still be going. Let's go down to an 8 here. Looks like that's 3, 4. Right. Again, find the 4 if you can, if it's there, right? And you don't always have it. Oh, just off the top of my head, that looks like, well, just first thing I got to see is that a lower low? Is it? It's not. So just makes me double check here if the 2 could be here. Might be, right? So that's what I mean by initially you just kind of place them and then you kind of dig into it and say, okay, now what can I really see there? Okay, that looks like a decent low here. And just again, same thing. Is it technical? What did the algo do? Jesus Christ. 15,001. It's a tick into the golden zone, right? So swing golden zone. Jesus. It amuses me, right? See, once you've seen this, you can't unsee it, right? You'll never be the same trader again. Right? Once you see it, once someone shows it to you, I cannot look at the market either. I can't look at the market and not see 5s and 3s, right? I mean, you do this long enough. I can't not. I don't know how anybody could see that. So you look here and you go, okay, so 80% probability of getting there. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. So why wouldn't you use that? I asked that of you guys. Why would you not use that? Okay, well, so that looks like that's quite a rip here. How far are we? Let's get on that low. Well, we're past the 2.6. We're not pushing up on 300%. So this is so it looks to me like because of that, because we're so far here, I'd want that 3.4 to be internalized. So I think I would use this. Jesus, can I get I don't know if I can get a diag in there or not. I don't think I can. ABC. That's not going to be long enough. It does not appear, but sometimes I'm wrong here. Not long enough. And that's a perfect 50. Oh, isn't that interesting? All right, so we get golden zone here, 50 to the tick here. Well, it makes me think perhaps I've got to do it this way. So we'd have to go, oh, fuck, probably W. That's not much of a finish. Well, let's keep it simple. That's how I'd leave it right there. Because I can't get a diag in here to work. I could go A, B, C, but that's really not a 3. You're kind of right. I mean, this is one of those times where you just have to recognize that Elliott's not perfect, right? You're not going to have perfection at every degree. Even if I go down to the smallest degree, well, maybe I can get it in there. So sometimes you get it down small enough that, oh, lo and behold, all right, maybe I can make that work. Okay, so there is a 3 in there, so I can get that 2. Looks like I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gives me the 3. This looks 4-ish. All right, let's come all the way back here. Now let's go back out. Let's go to an hour. 1, 2. Well, we had the golden corner here. Golden corner is not relevant to the Elliott, right? This is an independent pattern here, right? The Elliott often will fit into it, but it's not relevant to the Elliott, right? It's just to make that distinction. Okay, so I'm kind of working with what I got there. So, well, you call that the 3. So it looks like you can go. This would be. You'd have to do it this way. So you likely go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into that. So let's go down here a bit. Put it in blue. Okay, 1. I'm still unsure about how I want to do that. Either way, this is the big impulse. So let's do it this way. They're so close. Let's use this one first and just check here. So this might help here. So they're going to be so damn close. Not enough benefit here. I think you got to live with that. It shouldn't matter terribly. So this would be the 3 up here. A, B. Well, right now that looks like all you got to work with. In fact, it looks like it's a 3. Okay, so there's 5 that brings it down. Oh, shit. Here, let's go to the 15. I likely you'd have to do this. So that looks more like a 3. A, B, C. Now you have to go A, you have a skinny B, W, X, Y, 1, 2. Well, let's hear. It's a good one. Good choice. All right. There's a lot here. All right. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, big extension in the 5th. So whoever's watching, hopefully you recognize that, right? You're saying, oh, leading diag, right? So what are the requirements for a leading diag? We have to have 4 overlap the 1, 5 has to be longer than 3, 3 has to be longer than 1. And this one looks like it gives you the good geometry as well, right? That's what you want to see. Now this one is we're gonna miss here just slightly, but that's not bad, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that up a degree. Micro 1, looks like it could be done. I'd rather see it come a little bit lower, kind of play off of that, right? Looks like a 3. Oh, I don't think you can. Well, we're already on a 15. I don't think you can get 5 in there since I'm already down to a 15. So that's ABC. Could be. That's not much of an X. That's not going to be 90. All right. So for a flat, it's not far enough. So you're to a WXY. So I'd do it this way. WX right now. Y, right? So you can see the potential for this to roll over, though. If this is going to go A, B, C, you almost want that to come down because now where you're looking to be a buyer is down here, right? So if this is W and that's the X, now you want an ABC to bring that down. So if that sets up for you, and it may not, but if you get that, then you're all over it. That's the one you want, right? Now, you don't have to sit here with a limit order. Let that look for the reaction, right? So you would anticipate a reaction just off, because price action traders, again, look, it's going to come into this. They're going to say, hey, man, prior resistance, there's a support, right? So you can anticipate a reaction there. Then, right, I've shown this a gazillion times. You take the retrace. So why not just do it here and put your stop right here? Because you want the reaction first. You want to see the market respond. Once it responds, the people that get this, they might be on a 3-minute chart. The temptation for them, if they're at 10x or more leverage, they're going to grab that. Oh, we're coming right into the prior support. I don't want to overstay my welcome, so I'm going to grab my 10x little profit there. And so then the people that bought late, it starts to come down. Their stops start getting hit. The people that are waiting for the retrace, now they look to step in. Where's your stop? Under the low, right? So you've got the market cannot hurt you here, right? You can't get hurt. You can take a jab, right? As I like to use the bottoming analogy, but it's not a knockout blow unless you do something stupid. Well, let's just give it plenty of room. No, that's not the way to do it. But that's what you're hoping is for. It's to see something in a 3 come down here, because then see, the market's not always going to give you what you're hoping for, right? I mean, you should expect that it often won't. But if you're sitting here looking at this going, at this moment, does that look like that's starting off in an impulse? No. Clearly it doesn't, right? So you're just working with what's here, what's most probable based on what's here. Now, if this thing launches out of here, and we get a big rip here, well, maybe you're back here going, well, I'll be damned. Maybe that is the 2 here, and it's going to be unusually shallow, right? It's unheard of, right, to be a 38. But maybe we're going to end up with another leading diagonal. Oh, wait, 3's longer than 1, 5 longer than 3. Or maybe I got another 1. You don't know until it resolves. So here, there's no reason to take a trade here because you have no edge. You can't verify the pattern. You could buy it off of, well, it looks decent in here. Oh, look, it's going up here on a 15-minute. But that's not strategic trading. If you want to wait for this to come in, wait for it to come in. Now, if it goes higher, then nothing really changes. Oh, I don't know if I can do it that way. So let's say we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get the 5 there. Well, now you're same thing. You're still waiting for the 3. Give me the 3. Stop under the low, right? That might affect your size or whether you're using leverage, and you're looking to get into the 3. So if you miss it here, you wait for that one. And if it doesn't give it to you, you keep waiting for the setup that comes where you go, I am comfortable trading there. I'm not nervous about it. I mean, there's always a little anxiety when money's at risk, but at least here, you're reducing it as much as you possibly can. Oh, I've got a pattern I recognize. I see where I am. I know what just came. The context makes sense. I'm not going to blow my account up because I'm not going to put my stop down here. So there's really only 3 outcomes here: small loser, small winner, big winner. Now, focus on that for a second. Those should always only be the 3 outcomes: small winner, small loser, big winner. If you allow for the 4th one, you did it to yourself, because you allowed for big loser, which makes you, well, I'll let you finish the sentence there. Okay, that's nice choice. It's tricky here, right? So sometimes I love it when I can say, oh, buy it right now. But I wouldn't. So all I can tell you is what I would do. That's not good enough for me. Why would I put money at risk? Now, if you're long already, Monty, what did he say he was long from? I think he gave us where he was long. Oh, Monty would have gone for a Pop-Tart. Okay, so I would just wait here. If you're in, I wouldn't be adding. I'd be adding down here. All right, I hope you got something out of that. Let me get back to my list here so we don't go for 12 days. Okay, so Demon, I don't know how I say this, Diamond Lee? Okay, so we're looking at XRP. I was just looking at that because I'm in this. All right, it's lost a little of its. Okay, so he's giving me an image. All right, I can't work with that. All right, so, well, it's good Elliott work here. So 1, 2, 3. So here's your 1. There's a 5. So you go A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. Well, can you get that? Let's see. 1, 2. You'd have to do 3, 4, 5. So this would have to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it works. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 has to be here. Pardon me. This has to be the 4 to the 5, right? So you have to work backwards and go, okay, well, that has to be the 5 of the 3. Working backwards, right? So that's going to be your 1, 2, 3. Sideways, choppy 4, right? So you get a sharp 2, choppy sideways, right? Nice guideline of alternation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So nice. We get a start here. I bet there's a median line there as well. Now this is a little tricky. Again, it just comes from practice, recognizing, oh, I can have a triangle in the X. Like, where can I have triangles? Oh, I could have one in the X. Oh, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, that works. So because I get a waterfall Y, there's barely anything there, right? When you get those kind of liquidation wicks, you just make do with it, right? I mean, it's a significant event. Somebody traded here. Somebody sold it here. Oh, we're going to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't need to do much here. Again, do you see this happening now across so many of the alts? Impatience at the 2, right? They're not willing to, let it come down into these deeper levels. You're seeing it now at the 38s. Reminds me of 17, 18. Okay, so we don't know, because this could be WXY. This could be ABC, and we might have a running flat. You don't know. So is that good enough to trade? Well, I'm picky about it. So I'm already in this. I wouldn't be adding, but I'd be adding down here. Right there, too many possible outcomes here. Demon Lee, I don't know if you're in or not, but if I can get this down a little bit, right? So if I can play off of some of this structure in here, love it. All right, stop under the low, right? So already, Steve, do you want to buy it here? Where's your stop? The 2? Already, that looks too long. What do I got? Well, this is a 30-minute. I mean, that's going to sting. So what are you going to use? The lowest pivot? All right. Not ideal. If I had to go long here, my size would be modest, because I would want to be prepared to add should it go lower. All right, so I could average down my price, stop here. Right, so I'm reducing. All right, I'm adding to a loser, but the net exposure for the stop gets smaller. The size gets slightly bigger. So just be careful about overdoing it, right? That's usually the biggest mistake. When people come to us and, I blew my account out, right? And I ask a little bit of it, tell me about your trade history. It's almost always too much risk. Got hammered on one of these liquidation wicks. Be patient, right? See, it's FOMO here. So if you're looking at this right now, the temptation to buy that is pure FOMO. Well, it might go, man. I don't want to miss it. Careful of that. Okay, thanks, Damon Lee. All right, I think is a new member. Let's see what we got. IABDO. IABDO. Let's see. He's giving me an image as well. Okay. That's good. I don't know how to say it. IABDO. So an ABC, let's see here. This is SHIB. Okay, let me bring this up here. What did he give it to me? Against the tether? Tether. All right, let's take a look here. He's given me 10 minute? 10 minute. Why is he giving me a 10 minute? Let's wait. So whenever I get something like that, I mean, at least for me, I gotta pull out in some context here. All right. So everybody's all hot and bothered over this. Another meme coin. No doubt people have made a fortune here. This is the attraction to crypto. God, this guy I play squash with was just telling me the other day, he bought 1 billion of these. When's the last time you bought 1 billion of anything? So with this is, you can look here. So why do I do that? Right? Because I can see that's not the lowest low. Here's the lowest low. Okay, so whatever this is, right, here's where we start the run. Well, let's go to a 2 here. Well, that's a little fucked. Okay, so this clearly the 4, right? You can just look at that and say, oh, okay, there, A, B, C. Triangle, right? So we can get a triangle in there. You're identifying, even if you weren't an Elliott trader, just consolidation. All right, so we get this big ramp, right? This is same kind of thing happening right here, right? So it's the same thing, right? So you get this big ramp, right? So now everybody gets all fired up, right? You get profit taking in here. The new people are now coming in. They've seen this, right? So this is if you're bullish here, the fact that we don't come down deeper, right? There's a breakout you might. If you were going to buy a breakout, well, first place, this is a foolish place to do it. And you look and say, okay, but it worked. But actually, look what actually happened here. This, I'm not saying, don't ever buy this. What I'm saying is don't buy it right here. Do you see what it does? It comes here and then it comes back and it tests. What are they saying? Is it safe, right? Or is a bunch of supply going to come back into the market here? Is it going to do this? Okay, what is this? Is it safe here? Is it safe here, or is a bunch of supply going to come in? Can I buy it here? We're testing. So the better place to be a buyer here, if you're not comfortable here recognizing the triangle and you don't take the breakout. Okay, well, so shit, I missed that one. Well, the market almost always will give you a chance to get back in, right? On the retrace. God, it looks like that's 65 with a tick. Up, back, down. We're testing. What it's really doing is testing this pivot. Safe. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be, right? It doesn't overlap. So that could be the 5, but this looks more like 4. So let's just put some broad strokes on it. 1. Well, can't have a triangle in the 2. So that's a little bit of a fucker. Let's think about how we deal with that. So that has to be the 4. Right? So we'd have to do it this way. So we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a big 5. 5. Right. No. Right. Again, just things that it can't be, right? Helps you focus on what it can be. Okay. 1, 2. I think that looks like it could go again, right? 1, 2, 3. We're working on the triangle 4, 5, right? Just like we did here. If that gets repetition. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, here. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm telling you guys not to do. Let's change colors and change degrees. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. No definitive answer there as to whether that's done. I am on a 60. So just something that you would do just partly out of habit, but partly as well to help identify. Okay, so what is this most likely to be? All right, so if we're coming out of a triangle 4 here, I'm going to try and get that right on the pivot. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, right. This is now while they do go further, this is a pretty extreme push for a 3 to get to the 2618 and gets wicks through it. So it's not likely to be the pivot here because of the 1, 2, 3. It's much more likely, not that it must be, but more likely to be the 3. Same kind of thing. Looks like it's happening right here. Just it's not quite as perfectly. This looks like a pennant, but looks like that's what's working on. Oh, let's go in here. Well, you've got, it's possible we're in here because if this kicks one more time, you'd have an impulse there. Wait, let's see. Would you? No, you couldn't. Let's see. So if this is the 1, right? 1, 2. We could have a leading diag there. Let's. Well, maybe not. Let's see. All right, so measure twice. Oh, come here. What'd you just do? There we go. Oh, fuck, something got fucked up there. Hang on. Let's try it again. 1, 2. It could be, right? So there's no other way to, you wouldn't. That's a bit of a fucker, right? So 1, 2, you'd have to go A, B, C. If this is going to come down a little bit further. All right, well, let's. So I'd have this both ways. I'd have this as a triangle with looking for the E to finish here, but I'd be mindful of the fact that I might have this going in. All right, how do you know? You don't know until you see how this resolves. Things that can help guide you. If that's going to hold, I'm just going to use the highest high here. We want the 4 at the 50, right? In a diag, right? Ideally, right? That's the most common location for it. So if it comes down into this range where you can say, oh boy, a lot of structure right there, you can kind of play off of all of this. If we come in here for the 4, I'd be comfortable buying it there. I don't know if I'd buy 1 billion of them, but you could buy a whole lot of them. So what would the creation happening? Oh, that's interesting. It's just telling me my internet connection is unstable. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Oh, that must be you, Money Crypto, right? With some of the issues you're having with your modem, because you guys don't know this, but he actually pumps it to me because he runs the behind the scenes. That must be him. But so if I'm looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4, that's would be a reasonable target up here for that 5. So can you get long there? Well, you're kind of at that spot where we were before. You're kind of in between. There needs to be resolution. If this goes up for a 5, okay, I got my 4s in. If it rolls over here and we get the 4 down here and we finish, then I get the 5. Or if we come down here, let's see if I can get this out of here. That's going to confuse you. Right. The alternate would be that this. Let's do it this way. How are we going to do that?
Hey, Sam, are you muted?
E. No, I'm not muted.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. So that would be the alternate here, that we'd come into all of this consolidation and all of this resembles all of this, right? If you come in here for this E, so what you could approach it the same way. If we come down into that range, I'm interested. Right, but I would not give that a lot of room because it's too easy for this to fall lower. Remember, this is the 2. All right, so let's get this out of here. Okay, so I want to pay attention to that level relative to that 2. So if I'm there, I've already hit the 50. Now I don't really want the 4 at a golden zone, even though I know there's an algo, though this is a secondary. It's not the dominant. Dominant would be lower. You want the 4. You really don't want the 4 any lower than the 50, ideally, right? So to go up and get that target. So I'd be you're kind of share the luck here. You kind of got to wait. What is going to happen next, right? If we're coming down, now I'm looking for the long. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we push up here and we do this, and then we finish, then it looks more like it's a 5, and I've got a leading diag here to get started. Now the triangle is off the board. You're putting in the ABC down here with a slight truncation, so you'd go A, B, not much of a C, but it would work, right? I'm on a 4 hour. If I go down to a 30, I'm sure I can get 5 out of that. I can see the 3, 4. 1, 2, right? Is it ABC or 1, 2, 3, right? So that's the bitch of it, right? You never know. It could fall here now. So the only way you would have any insight into what's probable is what came before. So right now, let's keep it simple, right? Do we have a trend? Yeah, we got a trend. Right? Do we have an Elliott count that is reasonable? I mean, this is pretty extreme, right? But for crypto, this is not unusual. I'd take a couple of swings in here. I mean, you almost have to try both, right? If it comes down here and you think that the E is in, you could be a buyer, but you got to be conservative with the stop, right? Because if it's the 4, you're looking for a 1, 2 to finish the 5. You got to get up here somewhere. If it's going there, you got to get up there. How are you going to do it? Well, you're going you're going to need to do it in a 5, right? Doesn't have to be an impulse, but you're looking for a 5, right? Could be a diag to finish it. So where's the trade? So you're coming here. It's either a 2 or an E. Either way, you're trying to get long. Now, what did he give me here? He's thinking, all right, let's look at what he's doing. He's giving, is this a 10-minute? God, I think it is. WX. Well, so I like your thinking here. So, okay, we can work with the W there. X, A, B. It's a little bit unbalanced, right? You see how abrupt the W is relative to the Y. So the time imbalance would make me pause just a little bit. Do I really think that's what's going on here? Okay, so he's come to the same conclusion here. Well, if we're looking for a 5, but I can see the overlap here. So is this going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or so it would be a contracting diagonal potentially, right? If we don't get, so we can see the 3 is longer than 3 is longer than 1. That's a toughie on the 10-minute. Well, you're already late, right? You don't really want to be buying into that pivot or that pivot. So really, unless you bought it on the retrace and you're already long, so you've already got a little profit, you're stuck waiting. That's what I think you're going to have to wait and see how it resolves. Or you take the retrace on the idea that that's going to be a triangle and you're going to get into the well, so if it's a triangle, you're trying to get into the 2. Or pardon me, after the 2. So if it's E, so let's say it's a triangle, then you're trying to get into the 1, 2, 3. Because that's what you would need. You'd want to take out that pivot to confirm the triangle's done. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where you trade it. Right here. Not right here, because too many different ways that could go. You want it to break that pivot. Oh, okay. 1, right? The people that catch it will start to take profit. Stops will get hit. The latecomers will get stopped out. That's what creates the retrace. You come right back into that structure and off you go for the 3. And then okay, you're a price action trader. What's your target? Well, I suppose you could use triangle distance to give yourself some traditional targets based on classic TA. You could use some of that. There's certainly a trade there. Right, but I wouldn't be buying it right here. I'd be waiting. Either way, it's either E or 2. Okay, let me keep moving. Nice. Abdo.
Hey, we got another request for ANKR.
Oh, sure. ANKR?
ANKR. USDT, yeah.
Time?
Didn't say, so just...
Okay. All right, just give it a good look. See, oh, I know what this is. This is some Monty Magic. All right, let me get off of that. You have to watch on Wednesdays to get Monty Magic. I don't want to reveal any of his secrets. Those are getting very, very popular, right? So don't miss Wednesdays. Okay, so, well, all right. Just, again, this is just habitual for me. So I'm looking for, okay, there's the lowest low. Just reflexively, I do that. All right. Again, I just will often just kind of lay it out and go, all right, does that work? Now, can I just at broad strokes, does that work? Looks like the last 5 is there. So this would have to be 4-ish. So it looks like that can work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a 1, 2, 3. That looks like triangle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that looks pretty good. So from that to that, how do we do? Well, sure looks like this got played. All right, let's test it, right? Prior resistance. Oh, there's a cluster F. Okay, so let's look what we got here. So what consistently I've been telling you guys, right? I know Money Crypto will remember this, right? We saw this so much in 17, 18. The 2s were not going to their traditional distance, right? Impatient market. Now that looks like a 5, doesn't it? So you'd probably have to go down. Oh, that's going to have an AB in it. All right. So you can see the 5 here, right? So here's the last 5. So there's the 4, right? So here's the triangle 4. Very common for the triangle to be in the 4, right? It's the pause before. What are we doing? Are we retracing, or are we going to finish this? So it looks like I'm going to keep it simple here. It might be a WXY, ABC, W, ABC, X, ABC. Right? Here, let's just do it right. Let's do it the right way. Since someone was nice enough to tip, that's how I do it. Because it looks, oh, here, let's see. See, there's a 5 in there. See, I can finish. Do you see the 5 that's in there? Sometimes I go too fast, right? I shouldn't assume you guys see all this, right? So I can see the 5 there. And then I got a triangle. So there's A. So, pardon me. Let me do it this way. So this would be W, or pardon me. I'm already got the W. This would be A, triangle B, and I finish with an impulse in the C, right? Right. So there's, I mean, pretty solid Elliott here. And again, it's good to do this, right? So I do it here just for the benefit of the person who's requested this, but you should always do this, right? Leave your work, leave a trail, right? So if you come back here 2 months from now, you go, oh shit, I got that all wired. I did that. I remember doing that. Okay. What are we doing next? Well, that's a bit of a fucker, but it looks like that's a diag, right? So this looks like, no. So again, same thing. I'm just laying these out here. Okay, now I got to check it. Does it work? All right, it's 3. 3 has to be longer than 1. Yep. Okay, so I've got a contender here. Well, it's pretty deep overlap, but it looks like that's technical. Get it right on there. 15,002 times I've shown that. So what do we have here? Golden corner. So this is such a great example. So you look at that, right? So you draw that up and you're right here. And you're like, oh, well, it's not going to make it. No, it'll never make that. Right? That's gone too far. Never make it. I know that guy told me it had 80% odds, but there's no way it's making that. No. Oh, see, it missed there. How did that work out for you? You guys have heard members heard me say this many, many times. If I could only have one trade, only one, golden corner. It's my signature trade. If I could only have one, and I bet you got another one here, right? Swing, retrace, another set. It may not be golden, but it looks like, well, here you're at the 50. It looks like you might have it again. Anyway, my point. So again, if you're watching this, how would you ever not put that up on a chart again? I mean, again, I've shown it so many times. It's astonishing me when someone sends me a chart and it's not on there. It just makes me wonder. What's the thought process that goes, oh, fuck that. I'm not using that stuff. Let's go back here. 1, 2. Oh, it looks like that's 3, 4. Right? Again, just throw it up there, right? It's like a sketch. Like, oh, okay, well, let's see. Does it work? Right? You just eyeball it. Say, oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like. There, again, here's the 4. Right? It's very easy to spot the 4s usually. That little triangle, cluster 4. So very sharp here. Oh, pardon me. It looks like you do it this way. 1, 2, 3, sideways 4. So I get sharp here. I get sideways here up to the 5. All right. Oh, shit. Let's go to the 8. Okay. So did we complete? What did we complete? If we did complete, looks like we're not done yet. All right. So I got a nice 1, technical 2. We hit that median line. So let's put all of it together. 1, 2, 3. We done there? We might be. Let's go up a degree. Okay, again, much of what I do here, this is habitual. I just always do it. Okay, I want to know where that is. I want to see these levels. So, but Sam, why do you do that? Why do you do that? That's why. Right? I don't want to miss that. Right? So, did it go far enough? Same thing here. Now, if I'm taking my time, I'll color code them. So this one would be white because that wave structure is white, right? This one would be blue because, well, you follow what I'm doing. I'm just so you don't lose track of which one is that, right? Sometimes they're right on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I got a 3. This sure looks 4-ish. I got hard and sharp right here. I'm kind of essentially going sideways here. The question is it done? Well, how would we know? So a couple of things we would do. All right. So just right off the bat, right? Just standard ops, right? How does the 4 look relative to the length of the 3? And where would we be looking for that 4? it's not, I mean, these are just probabilities, right? It's not like I know that that's going to turn there. Nobody knows. So you just like, so well, where's it most likely to turn? Where does it turn most often? Between the 23 and the 38. That's not hard. All right. So you say, oh, shit, I don't know. That looks like it was coming down pretty hard. I was a little uncomfortable there, so I didn't want to take that one. Boy, talk about low risk. So it looks like you've got another diag starting on the 5 there. All right, again, same thing. Let's put it up there and see if it plays. Does it work? Let's take that down. Let's go to micro. All right. So just at first glance, that looks like that could work. Now this looks like we might. All right. So remember, we're looking for the 4 at the 50, a little deeper than I'd like it. Now, did an algo get paid here? Sure did. All right. Enough. Plenty of clearance. Get cleared. Look at the reaction. How do we know it's an algo? The reaction, not this. All right, so that looks like a contender here for a leading diag into the 5th. Right, so unlikely. Right, so here, so you look at the possibility. So could that be done there? Well, yeah, it could be done. You truncate the 5 via diag. Well, right, typically you'd want a contracting diagonal. I'm not such a purist, I wouldn't allow it. But what's more probable to me, looking at that, is that that's the 1 of the 5. See, look at the size of the 3rd we got. You kind of got to put the whole thing back together in context. So other things we could do, again, based off of these patterns that repeat and what they typically do. So again, it's not that hard, right? It's just a couple of these to remember. Length of the 1 projected from the proposed 4. Now, I don't know for sure that's the 4. But right now, based on what's come off of that, I sure do have a 5. I've got a leading diag to come off of that. So this would be a reasonable candidate here. So if an impulse is going to complete, common relationships between 5 and 1 are parity. 618, 618 comes up if you have a deep 4, right? So if the 4 goes to, if you get a golden zone in the 4, you can see how that could happen right here. You see, this is a good example, right? Come here. So if this were to come, oh shit, we were to roll over and you come down here, well, you could hit that golden zone a tick ahead of overlapping that 1. Now, if you're that far in the 4, you're not aiming for parity, you're aiming for the 618 now, right? The deeper the 4, again, there's no absolutes here, but typically the less distance in the 5 relative to the 1. So this wouldn't necessarily be your target. And like I says, it couldn't go there, but it'd be more typical to get the 618. That's why the 618 is there for those projections. But right now, there's no reason to think otherwise than, okay, I got a leading diag. So if that's the leading diag, and I know that 1 is certainly a candidate, next most common is the 127-138 window. We could go up here. We also would have an algo target here, but we're not quite deep enough for the algo target. So that would be secondary to me. I'd almost take it off, right? Well, now that I've established this is a 38. Okay. So we're back to context. Okay. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, could be, but probably not the 5, right? Truncation, last resort. Now, if we fall, right? Oh shit, maybe it was a truncation, or maybe the count's wrong. Maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe the 3, 4. Maybe we're done here. But if you just look at it, right? So again, I've said this in every live stream we've done. This is all the market ever does at every degree. It's all it ever does, right? Swing, retrace, one side breaks. Swing, retrace. So if we're going to hold here, so let's see how that would play, right? So if this is the 1, I don't have the 2 yet. I'm just kind of looking here, say, all right, let's see if we can put that together. So if this went 1, 2, well, I'm going to use the most probable location for the 3, right? If I'm mapping it out, why would I use something other than the most likely? Oh, let's put the 3 right there. Let's put the 4, I'm eyeballing here, 23, 38. Now, would that work? Oh, shit. Here, let's lower these. I'm not doing what I'm telling you guys to do. Here, let's put that down and let's go alternate the colors so you don't get lost. Okay. I got a contender here for a leading diag. Would like to get it right there. So there, I get a good candidate here for the 3, the 4, the 5. Okay. So hooks me up right there. So now I come back to, well, how would that play? That's the 1, and that holds at the 4. So I get a target box up here. Now we could, let's see, some traditional Elliott channeling here might work as well. We are in log, but log will fuck up a channel, unfortunately. But that looks kind of interesting there. Sometimes log won't let you get there. Okay, so we're kind of loosely, here's a little bit loose on that. It's a little harder to do this when in log scale. Channels kind of get fucked in log. So you might do it this way and allow for a little overthrow. I'm just using this edge here rather than cut into it all to get the 2 here because that's a bit shallow. I'm just using the most recent here. So I'd kind of be watching both of those. I would definitely be checking this as well. A lot of my charts will have both. Could we get there here? It looks like maybe not, right? It have to be up here. So, right, we get the second most common right here between the 120, 127 and 138. Right now, we're going to get that way. So, might anticipate a bigger 3, 1, 2. If I'm going to get a bigger 3, 4, 5, right? So, be realistic about your targets, right? I mean, if you catch that move, don't what's the pigs get slaughtered, right? Don't be, it's just going to keep going. It's never going to stop. It's going to keep going, right? Because the retracements are inevitable. They always come, always, because of human nature, not because of any other reason, right? Because the temptation to take profit is so great. If you catch that move, you're dying to, right? You're probably dying to right here. You're dying to take profit. Oh, it's not to the median line. Oh God, look at, oh shit, we made 100. I'm dying to take profit. Did it complete? See, again, we're back to where Elliott gives you an advantage over the price action guy. Oh, so we're thinking 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, it's technical. Shit, it's almost to the median line. Should I take profit there? Should you? Right? If you're trading this methodology, no, you shouldn't, because you're looking for this to complete in 5. So what's more painful? That if you're trailing with a stop, did you come down here? Oh, I gave back some. Or the thing keeps going. You're like, God damn it, I got out too soon, right? You'll do more damage to yourself psychologically as a trader if you're out too soon. Now, it's good to take a profit, right? But for me, if I let something go because I got scared, oh shit, I don't know, let's just take it. And it does that, well, hopefully you learn from that lesson. Oh, shit, I didn't wait for it to complete in 5, right? Because that's what it's prone to do. Not required, not inevitable. That's what it's likely to do. Nothing says that couldn't do that and then sell off, right? There's absolutely nothing that says it couldn't do that. We're going to do whatever it want. But for us as traders, all we got is probabilities. And what is it likely to do based on the context? All right, let me keep moving. God, I go too long. Anchor. Oh, so next one up. Hopefully that's helpful to whoever was nice enough to request and tip us. Let's see. I got ALGO next. All right, let me see. This is Arcadeus. Arcadeus. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's his handle. Right? A lot of times handles are like some in some meaning only to the whoever's using it, and I have to try and pronounce it. Arcadeus. All right, Arcadeus. What are we doing here? Algo Rand. Okay, so this looks tricky. So we've got some of Money Crypto's work is in here, right? So I like to see them using both. So he's got all his weekly levels mapped out here. Let's see. Do I have a copy? I think I can work with this, right? Can I? Yeah, I can. Okay, so I've got what I need. Did he give it to me in log? I think he did, right? So we're from, well, this is far enough. Just force a habit. Whew, barely. God, do I have that right? It looks like it might actually be a little closer. I'm off there. Get that right on it. 1, 2, bear, there's the 100, right? So we've got the contender. I'm going to imagine that Archduce did that. Okay, so let's see, can I make these, can I hide these? Oh, shit. Let's see if he's got them organized. He doesn't. Okay, oh, yeah, he does. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. That's also something we learned from Monte Crypto on how to organize those. But because if you're digging through an Elliott count, all the lines can confuse you if you zoom in. So right now, 1, 2, 3. Well, we can see it. So come here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 overlaps. So you got to treat it as a diag, right? If you're going to stick with this count. Same idea here. Just habit. Okay. It's not a great looking impulse as it is. Probably plays better as an ABC. Okay, so just again, habitual. Let's get you down there. I want to see, is it technical? Pretty good. Looks like you'd have to go ABC there as well. Oh, okay. Well, this is pretty fancy footwork in here. ABC, ABC, ABC. Well, so you see the clear 5 in there. So if you spot a 5, identify it, right? Because that's going to have to fit in somewhere, right? You can't just ignore it. Oh, this is inconvenient to my count, so I'm going to ignore it. And never a good idea. So looking here, so now you can say, okay, I got that 5. Does that fit? 3 for A, B, C into the Y. I get 3 here, right? So process of elimination is, we didn't go 1, 2, 3, right? So what's left? Oh, looks like that's A, triangle B, whatever B is in there, down for the Z. So a little tight right here. Don't get much tighter. Now, you got to be careful here when they're that tight that we didn't overlap on another exchange. I guess not. Here, we'll just assume not. Oh, that's too big. Okay, so let's... Okay, 1, 2. Diag. Okay, I see what you're thinking here. Okay, so let's get that off. Let's get that off. Does that work? 1, 2, I see this. All right, so right off the bat, would you see what I'm checking here? It looks like it does, and I'm going to guess that he did this already. Just making sure. Yep, we're plenty good. Okay, so 1, 2, and really all you're left with. Well, here again, back to there's reason to do this. So this, you wouldn't, looks like that's ABC, but 2, you're kind of stuck with it. Okay, so let's see if we can finish it. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I see what he's doing. So you get this waterfall here. Well, let's go to an 8-hour. Okay, so I'm absolutely sure he did this. Right, 50 to the tick, right? So where are we looking for the 2, right? That's why you know, when you're up here, right? So there's FOMO. Shit, oh man, it's not going to do it. And then it comes right back to him. Once again, right? That's why you do these. Right, gets played, this little cluster, right? It gets a check. Oh shit, how far is that going to fall? Look how quickly that's rejected. Down, oh my God, what an opportunity. ALGO RAND is on sale. All right, 1, 2, you're kind of stuck with it, right? Those waterfall wicks, not much else you can do with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're kind of huge there. Put that in green. Okay, does that work as a 3? It does, right? It's ugly, but it's mighty compressed, but you don't really have much better. Let's see. Is there an alternate here? Well, let's just pause for just a second. So that's barely a double top. Oh, I'm just looking at this going, are we solid here on the 1, 2, or does this have to be the 1 here? It looks like you might be stuck with it. so so why the hesitation? Why am I looking for, is there something else here? Because this is the impulse we end up with. Kind of wonky. Oh, pardon me. It would be right here. Oh, I kind of fucked that up. It's right here. So that one's okay. I can live with that one a little bit better. So a leading diag, but look what we end up with here is just horrific in terms of having the right look. Right. That's just ugly all day. Does not have the right look. So right off the bat, so just knowing that, which is that they're not always going to have the right look, right? So maybe that's all there is here, at least based on what we have so far. But it would make me pause here and go, do I need to dig in deeper there, see if there's an alternate there that I'm not thinking of? This would right off the bat would have me a little concerned. I would be checking other exchanges because all it needs to do is overlap on any exchange anywhere, right? It's just the reality of crypto with so many exchanges. You can't go, oh, it didn't overlap on Binance, but it overlapped on Bitstamp, so we'll just roll with it. This is a bit ugly, right? So this is choppy, obviously, right? So lots of vol here. Oh, I think it's reasonable to be a buyer here. So there's a lot of good price action here. These are longer term levels, a little Monty Magic in there. So at the very least, you can see it's coming back to test this. Oh, so if it comes down here and you hit some of that structure, you can see his entries here. So that's nice. So he's actually, looks like he's trying to play the run up if you got the right setup there. But I would be cautiously looking for this, right? That's the one I would take for that move down, right? Because you don't know, right? That could easily turn into a 5. But if it's going to hold this count, see the count here looks better because this one you've got something looks a little better. That's mighty. Oh, that's deep. If you're going up here for the 3, 4, 5, now we get a little closer to the right look here. This is just me, right? So I look at it and I go, all right, there's so many things to trade. If I'm not sure, why do I want to force something here? I would be reluctant buying into that. Oh, I mean, so if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be really disciplined about the stop, which he's showing here, right? So per the stop here. So he's not allowing for any significant damage to his account. So you got 3 trades. Oh shit, we got 4 trades here. This is aggressive, right? To be trying to get the up, the down, the up, the down. That's aggressive trading. But it looks like it could work, right? So the one thing you're going to have to be paying to, which he's already done. Good for you. Very, very well done here. Because the 5 would have to be longer than the 3. So he's marking this for himself. He's marking this for himself. So he has the validation level. So do you follow that, right? So for this to be a leading diag, it's got to be. Come here. We have to have this condition met, right? There's no compromise. It's not like, well, it's close enough, right? 5 has to be longer than 3. If we're going to play this as a leading diagonal, it has to. So again, this is another advantage of Elliott. So if it doesn't get there, I know the count is not right. Or now, for it to not get there would require something significant to happen. So we'd have to go up and then have a deeper retracement and take out these levels. And then you'd say, all right, well, apparently we're just going to fall short and we're going to finish all of this over here. Right, which wouldn't be the end of the world, right? It's like, okay, well, all right, I see the count. We didn't get the leading diag, so now you're gonna have to rethink the whole thing because I didn't make this distance. So now you're back in here digging through it, saying, okay, well, what would work here? No reason to assume it wouldn't get there just yet, right? Right now, it's right on track to get there. But that's aggressive trading, right? So that would be interesting. I'd be very curious if you take these, what your numbers are in terms of your P&L. So you can see here how this is a good example of the way these laid this out. This could be small loser, small loser, small loser, big winner. This could be small loser, small winner, small loser, big winner, loser, loser, winner. Right? Small loser, right? You don't know what role, how that's going to play out. But if you get up here, see, this is the trade people don't like to take, right? Whoa. Right? So Come from this low. Fuck out of that. Right? They won't acknowledge that something completes there. Right, so if you're not using Elliott Wave, you're like an all-time high. So why would you assume it doesn't keep going? So if you're an Elliott Wave trader, you're looking at this going, okay, wow, nice run. But look at the structure here I have to work with here. So where am I looking for the 2, right? Let's just assume we get up here and we complete the leading diag here. I know where I'm looking for it. Boy, look how that plays in so nicely with that structure there. Resistance, support. If we come back down here, right? So again, who knows what's causing that, right? Who knows? This is just the most probable outcome, right? Now, if you're not an Elliott trader, if you're new to trading, you're not looking for that, right? So if you're using this approach, you're saying, okay, great, right? Love it, right? Look here, I got all this action here. But see, this is the thing that most traders would be completely confused by. Why would you be selling up here at this all-time high? Man, that thing could go to the moon. Another way to look at it, you need the retrace. It's almost like physics. You need the energy release, right? You see, this swing needs this retracement to get this swing. Again, right? This is all the market ever does. It's all it ever does, right? Now, I'm always doing that bullish, right? That's all it ever does. So if we're going to do this, we need this. You think of it as pulling the string of a bow. I need that to give me the energy release to get up there. Another way to look at it. I need all of this. I need all of this fear, because what do I have here? Greed. I need the fear to create the next greed, or the energy, the palpable fear. Oh my God, I thought that thing was going up. I got to get out. Right to structure, right to the 50. I don't know, man, it's going down. I can't buy it. Whereas if you're using this approach, you're like, come on down, baby. Come on, I'm dying to buy it. It's a perfect roadmap. Perfect. So you don't have to do all of this, right? If it's me here, right? If you're tend to be, as I do, tend to be long only in crypto. I don't do a lot of shorting in crypto. I won't, not because I'm not willing to or not unable to. It's I don't have the time to. Right? I don't have the time to. I can't play both sides of it, right? So I'm out here usually 4 hours and above. I'm looking for the buy side. So if I'm here looking at this, I'm either going to buy the 4 to the 5, or I'm going to wait and look for the 2 to complete. If it comes in 3, there's no hesitation. There's none, because you waited for this shit. You could wait a year for this. It could be next summer before you get that. Would it be worth the wait? Where's the target? Would it be worth the wait? And see, this is very common with new traders. Oh, they're impatient. I'm not waiting around till next summer to buy that. No way. So they keep so this happens. They buy it, stopped out. It finally comes down here. They've washed their hands with it. Right at the time when it should be bought. Very common. It's what makes the trading world go round, right? Money has to come from somewhere. That is a harsh way to say it, but there's a lot of ways you can frame that, right? Experience, take it from the inexperience is a kind way to say it. Strong hands, take it from the weak hands, another way to say it. Who's buying down here? Right. Strong hands. Buy when there's blood in the street. Okay, let me keep moving.
We got another
request.
One. Oh, good. Yeah. FTM asking if the correction is over and potentially putting in a leading diag.
Hey, tell me the asset again.
FTM, Phantom.
We got an exchange preference?
I guess probably Binance, FTM, USDT.
Got it. Is the correction over? Well, is that what he means? Is he asking me if this correction's over? That's interesting. Okay.
Well, I think probably lower time frame, but
yeah. I got it. But right. So, okay. But that's a good point here. So you say lower time frame. Oh, here, we don't want to hide that. Well, if you're thinking lower time frame, be damn sure you've done the analysis at a higher time frame. right? So particularly if I'm bringing up a new asset, always start on the daily. You got to figure out where it is. So right off the bat, now, so based on the last 20 minutes that I just went off on about the last asset, ALGO Rand, or the one we were just looking at. Okay, so I'm just going to do things here that I've just been saying all day, right? So just throwing them up here. Okay, does it work? Well, right off the bat, I can kind of look at that and go, I mean, it's not hard to spot the 5 swings there. So whoever's asking here, the only question he could be asking is, are we in some sort of an extension? So just looking at that. So right off the bat, let's just check them. Okay, so how does this look relative to the 1-2? Okay, second most common location, because I'm going to assume that we complete here. Just a little front run here. So if it's not going to be the 1-6-1-8, second most common. All right, I can look at that front run, and it looks to me like we go, hey, oh shit. We might have to do that. That could be a triangle. So, well, I don't know that it matters here, but looks like there's your correction. It looks like that's WX triangle Y so why do I say that? Because just looking at it, you can kind of look here and you say, oh, it looks like it finishes with that 3. So just working backwards. Okay, well, it looks like I could go 3 here, triangle. So WXY is what I would think there, right? Now, so I'm only taking the point that to draw your attention to that for those of you that are trying to learn Elliott. So let me keep going here. So there's your 1, right? Again, just force a habit. Okay, let's check the 2 to the 4, right? Length of the 3 is essentially what you're doing there. Where's the high probability zone? All right, looks good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So could we be done here? Now we've got an algo target, but we're not at a 50. So you can't assume that's an algo, right? That you can't make that assumption because it's not in the buy zone for that. Oh, let's see. Let's take it out of log, just out of curiosity. Okay, got to be in log. Well, I do a couple of things here. So this, log is a pain in the ass. You got to do it this way. Log is sometimes a pain. You can get there, but you got to do it with trend lines. And then I'd put a center line in it. But all right, so could I be done there? Well, what would we use? Well, we are going to break that down, but let's just use the broadest strokes right off the bat, right? Why not use them? They're right here waiting for me, right? We were just talking about this, right? 100. This would be this would be very common for parity. Second, if it's got another leg in it, which is he'd be assuming, if he's assuming that correction is over, then we're looking for the 127, 138 window. Additionally, right, you're looking for confluence. I'd take the length of the 3 from the 4 and say, do I get any confluence? Oh, I do. Look what I get. Right. See, if it was like this, if you're here or here, you're kind of forcing the confluence. When we're right here, it's like, hey, that's right there. I saw that's enough for me to recognize it. Okay, good, got a good target here. Okay, now just looking at this, based on what we've been talking about, what does that look like? What does that look like? That looks like a 4, doesn't it? So we're out here. This is, big picture view. But if I'm looking at that right off the bat, it looks like that's 4-ish, right? The 4s are usually easier to spot. Okay, so let's work in that and see if the subdivision supports that. Because if that's the 4, well, we're looking to see if there's a 5 that's completing there. What do we got underneath here? I don't have anything. All right, let's go to an 8. I typically will go from a daily to an 8 to a 4 to a 1. So that's definitely your 4. Okay, let's go to the 4. So where are the deepest corrections? So I got this one and I got this one. Well, if I go 1, 2, then I got to pay attention to the length. But right off the bat, right? So either it's going to be 1, 2 here. I don't hate it. We're just shy of our high probability zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, broad strokes, right? You got to put them somewhere. So let's throw them up here and see how this looks. 4, 5, right? So if I complete something here, then I'd have a very shallow 2. Right? We were just talking about how impatient the market is. It's possible. Let's see. Is there a better fit? Well, just looking at it, I could look here and say, okay, maybe. I got a pretty good looking retracement here. I've only got 2 to work with. Right, so if you think about it, there's that one and there's that one. So somehow I got to make it work within all of that. And then I got to accommodate all of this. So that has to be the 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Oof. How can I get there? Okay, so what I'm doing is just kind of eyeballing for 5s. It looks to me like I've got a nice 5 here. 3, this is a big, I gotta look in there. It could be a 3. Whew, that's a push. All right, let's come back one. So can I get a 1, 2? All right, again, just on the fly here. I try and hurry, but this one is a tricky one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a candidate there. A lot of times you're doing this and it doesn't work. Or you get to the top and you're like, well, shit, that can't work. All right, let's consider this as a candidate for a 1. Same thing here. Candidate for a 1. 1, 2. Somewhere in there is your 4, 5. So what did I complete there? Could that be my 1, 2? All right, let's see if it works. Okay, 1, 2. I got to put them somewhere. Let's go micro. Let's put them in white. Okay, does that work? Okay, I got a decent impulse here. 1, 2. That's a little gnarly in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's got to check it. Oh, you give me these hard ones like this, they can be a little tedious, right? They're welcome to making the sausage, right? It's nice when I can go fast, but I can't always do it. Okay, so right off the bat, we got to check this relative to that. It's long enough, but we'd have an overlap. So could we have a diag here? That could work. Okay, so same thing, right? Can I get, where are my 5s? Do I have a possible 1, 2 there? Oh, you come up and you go down. You go down. Good habit, right? So I do that just to show you guys good habits. Okay, could that be the 1, 2 of this 3? This is accounted for 2. This would have to be 1, 2. So that's not going to be long enough. Potentially could go here, but that looks more like a 4. Let's see if we can put it all together. So already this is going to have to go up to sub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't say I love that. But does it qualify? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does. 4. And I'm pushing you off. I'm pushing you off. Pushing you off. I don't like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I got to go. I got to use it. So. This is a toughie. 1, 2. I don't like the 3, 4, 5 there, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to use that as the 3, 4, and play for an extension in the 5th. Okay, so that's going to go all off. Just put you in a different color. Okay. So 1, 2, I'm still seeking, that could be it. at 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That could work. Let's change that color. That's not enough for a 2. Oh, let's see if this can work. Green. Could that be the 1, 2? 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like that could work. 2, 3, 4. This is still up here, so I got to change those colors. They're wrong. Let's use that pink. Okay, 1, 2. So got to pay attention to the 1 there. Clears it. 3, 4. Okay, I'll put this one up. Here's the reality of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what did we finish there? If that's the 5, it would have to be that 3. It's a lot of subdivision. Well, the one I like the least here is this one. Come here. 1, 2, 3. That 4 is too big. Oh, this one would probably take some time. One that looks like diag 1. Let's see if we can finish that. Three, 4, 5. So let's bring that down. Oh, brutal one here. I don't know that I'd end up with this. I mean, something like this, I could spend an hour on this, right? Which you can't do on a live stream. Oh, let's see. I would, right? So I'm really digging on something like this. You got to work through all of these combinations. I'm tempted to want to do this, but I don't have a good 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I want to do, but I can't account for everything here this fast. I want to do that. That would have a better look. So I'd have to go 1. This the poor 2s. Oh shit! Come here. Uh-oh. Oh shit! What did I just do? Oh, there we go. Is the correction over? Is the question? Let's go back in here. If this is the 4, 1, 2. Holds it. Boy, I'd be real wary of that, taking out that. Has to be a diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that 1, 2. So here's the 1, 2. That's just barely enough. If this is A, B, C into the 4, this needs to go. Just because it's structure. Oh man, this is a brutal one. I think you're seeking that 3, right? So it looks like there's more upside still to come. Extension in the 1. I suppose the only alternate would be right here if you did it this way. That was the 4. That was the 3. And that was the 5. That could give you your 5 here of this 3. But boy, you're looking for a shallow. You'd have a shallow 2. 23 would make sense. Prior 3, 4 down a degree would be right there. So does it look like that's done? Okay, so I think we finally got there. If that's A, B, looks like that could roll over one more time. A, B, I'd be looking for that C a little bit lower. Into that, here's where I want it. Can I get that much? This is a double top, so you're kind of guessing. Let's have 1, one, that would have to be the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that actually looks like that could still have some more. So that because it's a pure double top and I don't overlap, so I do it this way. God, I know this is getting tedious for anyone watching. 1, 2. Actually, you could do it here. You could do it there. So you go A, B, or W, X, Y. 1, 2, 3. Jesus. That kind of fucks you up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oof. But you see what I'm running into? That can't be the one there because of the overlap here. So you either have to get it here and be an ABC, or you got to do it here, B, C, and this. Ooh, that's not great. And then you have to do 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boy, that's tough. Tough one. I don't know if that's done. I can see why you wanted some help with that. That's a really challenging one to account for all that. So is the correction over? Good fucking question. I wouldn't. So if I'm in here, if I'm trading this, I want to see something happen in that A where I can get a little more structure on it. Let's go down to an hourly. If that's the 5 and we're putting in the A here, I'd want to see that B come up a little bit more. It looks like I've got a start on it. Is what you'd want from the high to the low. I'd want that up here if I could get it, assuming there's more still to come. This would go up a degree. So can I get an A, B, C into a B somewhere up here? Oh, brutal one. To bring this down here for that 4. So can I get this? Would be what I'd be looking for. I'd be careful about, well, of course, you don't want to buy right into that. Could I get that algo to hit that target there? Get me that C, give me that 4. All right, that would be shallow. Let's go back to the 2. If I can make that work. Would be kind of shallow. I'd like it a little deeper. This is where I'd be a buyer. I'd have to spend more time on this to double check all of that, but I think, right, so this is the one I don't like. That as the 4, I might have to do it this way. I might just on the fly here again, if I had more time. I don't want to bore you guys to tears. That's a very hard one, right? So you're trying to account for all these little 5s, but in broad strokes, that's kind of what I want to do, but I'd have to double check all of that. Again, I could spend an hour here. We'll lose everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's done. So bottom line, I think your odds are better if you get a deeper retracement. We come into this structure here to try and get that to play ball with you. Oh, the other thing I would do, just as it's pretty steep, I would just put a regression channel. Oh, fuck, we're in log scale. Can't do it. So I would use, let's forget that that's a problem here. Something like that. If I'm going to stay self-contained here, perhaps there's another leg up here. But if we break, then I know I'm likely coming into the 4 for that C. And prior 3, 4 would be reasonable. That's where I'd be a buyer, looking for one more kick up to get. Remember, we noted that confluence up here at the 100, 127 and the 100 relative to the length of the A, or pardon me, the length of the 1. So if I go back to the 4, whew, long way to get there. Then you'd be looking to finish with this. Something like that would get you done. And this would have to go up a degree. And we'll put it in blue. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now you're just looking to get into the 4. That's what I would do. I would have to double check that work. Bring it down a little bit lower. I like it. Now, see, I'm kind of obsessive like this. I will work on this until I get it. I think we're not far off here. This looks like the 3, 4. I think the 1 is the problem, right? Because we have such shallow, right? That's very shallow. Relatively speaking, we don't have much to work with there for the 2s. I do think it looks like there's more to come, right? So if we come all the way back out to where we started, for this to go up here and get that on that broader structure looks pretty reasonable. So my suggestion would be not done. There's another leg up. There's another 5 to come for some of these upper targets, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that range. Looks pretty solid. Tough one. Now that's going to bug me all day until I come back here and finish that. All right, let me keep moving. Thanks for the request. I know I could spend an hour there. I don't want to bore everyone to tears. All right, I better keep moving. Oh God, shit, we got a lot more to go here. Okay, let's go. I got Arcadeus. Let's copy link. Oof, tough one. Very tough one you just gave me there. Made me work for that one. Okay, so let's copy this one. How are we doing on time? Oh, shit. Yeah, I might have to do part 1, part 2. You know what we might do is I might finish the second half of this tomorrow. So we'll have a combo crypto and trads tomorrow. Otherwise, because I spent so much time on that last one, I'll be here for all day. So I'll do one more. We'll wrap here and I'll finish the tail half of the crypto because there's a lot left. Yeah, we'll finish those tomorrow in the first half of the live stream tomorrow. We'll be on time tomorrow. Shouldn't have those issues we had here. Okay, so let me wrap up here with this one. Who am I doing? This is who is this? This is Arcadeus. Okay. All right. So I like when they give me commentary here, so it helps me know what you're thinking. Changing correction here. Okay. So all right. So right off the bat, I like what I see. Why? Because I see a bunch of median lines. So he's using the tools. So 1, looks like we're off this is COVID low. Oh, that's the, Jesus. I guess must be relatively, I guess it wasn't around. Okay. So we have one, okay. So, well, unless there was something went askew here, let me just hide that. Well, so that I don't think that works. Arcadeus. So we're just off the top of my head. So right off the bat, I want to do this, but let's just measure it here because he may have already done some of the detail work. So 1, 2, 3. That's not going to be long enough. My guess is, but let's just double check it. Right. So log scale can distort to your eyes, so you got to check. A little shy, right? So I'd be more inclined to be thinking 2 here. Where's the lowest low? Not a true double. It's a true double. So I'd put it here, so close. Okay, let's come back here. Well, so just moving that right now changes things. Okay. So Arcadeus, I know you'll have this, right? So I'm just going to throw an alternate on here for you and then we'll wrap up. So 1, 2, right off the bat, I'm already thinking that this has got to get changed here. So I'm just going to do a little tweak here on this. Okay, so let's just check some of these levels. Okay, so I'd want to put the 3 here, the 4 here. So what do we get? Yeah, it's pretty good work here. Remember first click. All right, so this is just rough draft, just looking at it. This is what I would be inclined to be thinking. So I've got the impulse there, sideways. Oh, shit. I guess you'd call it a triangle. Overthrow. Actually, so that's interesting. Overthrow on the E, right? Either under or over. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to the 5. So where are we? I'm going to just kill that. Okay, so let's go into a 2. if this is the 4, can we finish here? If we do, then we got to have a 1 there. Now, granted, I'm in log scale. Looks like we got to stay there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks all like you guys use giant degrees. Always amuses me. Okay, so we got that. Let's go to micro there. Okay, so 3, 4. I've got a candidate here. Now I may end up coming back to change this, but just on the fly, at first glance, that's what I see. Man, you guys use monster degrees. All right, so let's dig in there. Ooh. Okay, so it looks like 1, 2 overlap. So we have a leading diag, right? I like you there. So there's the 1 A, B. Oh, it's a little skinny, but okay, let's go with it. On the 5 to the C. Well, shit, probably 1 hour. You can get that a little bit tighter. A. Oh, that's nice work right here. Again, it takes some experience to know to look for that. So do you see the very pretty triangle here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So nice triangle comes up. So lovely triangle B. So A, B, C for the larger B. One, 2, 1, 2, 3. That looks good. 4, 3. Another triangle. Or just look sharp, tiny, sideways. Man, these giant degrees. Okay, so we got a contender here. So we've got a good-looking ABC. Now, so just force a habit. First thing I'm going to do was a technical. Right to a 50. They got their target here. So the ABC looks solid. A, B, C. All right. That's all the market ever does. All right. I got a contender here. So what would that be? Doesn't look like it's, well, let's just check it, right? Before you make any assumption, let's go out to the 2. That's not going to be enough. Let's go to the 4. Well, if we're coming all the way, this has got a long way to go. Note, right down a degree, prior 3, 4 would be a reasonable spot. Now we could have something shallow. We were seeing that more and more. Let's push this off. Could be shallow 2, right? Which could be shallow 2, right? Which he's acknowledging here, right? Good recognition of that. I mean, we're not even to the 23. So you'd be looking at that saying, okay, could this ABC that we just did, is it possibly a W, right? So could we do W, X, Y, and at least come to a 38 is what you might be looking for. Oh my God, these giant. Okay, so possibly 1. So again, the 2s are the bitch. So let's... A, B, so he's going to go W. So he's going W. Come here. W, X, Y via the, does that work? Oh, it's a little skinny. All right, well, let's just look at it. All right, so that, it's good work here. You work through every swing, right? It takes time to do that. So good effort on the time. Could that be our 1, 2? Or so again, we're seeing this pretty regularly. So we get a corner pocket here. So we have that 80% odds. I would be watching for something. How could it get deeper? That's a little shaky there, man. We're on an hour. Well, let's evaluate what's come off of that. If this is the low, 1, 2. No, I suppose you might be able to get that to work. I don't know, a lower time frame. Let's see if that gets a little sexier. Okay, so let's see here. 1, 2. You're kind of stuck with it. Well, that's your 4, 3, 4, 5. It looks like this might be off slightly. Like this, you can't finish this as 3. Let's just double check here. So this looks like it's not going to be long enough. It's not. So you can't go. Well, let's see. Can we do a diag there? Yes. I guess we. Nope, we can't. Well, hang on. We could actually. So because 5 is shorter than 3, 3 is shorter than 1. So we could finish that with a diag. Contracting diag. So we got a contender here for that as a 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. That's not, doesn't look like it's done yet, but let's just wick it off. 38. Well, just like most of them, right? If I could get this, I like it all the better. Play into some of this consolidation. I like that a whole lot better. You know, you're making the assumption we're not just going to rip up to a new high here. So something like that, this is a little shaky for me. So I would be waiting for that for more clarity from the market. If you're going to go up here and blow out that high, well, then I may be rethinking how I'm labeling this. If it's going to roll over, well, okay, then I'm comfy. All right, now I'm coming back down here where I'm looking for it. So just off of the idea that I've got a swing that completes here, so I get an impulse. If I can get my 3 at the 50, I'm a buyer. Oh, these are some tough ones here we ended the day with. It's very shallow sideways too. So, well, just looking ahead, just based off of that, we essentially get a sideways 2. You'd be looking for something simple and sharp because we have complex and sideways here in the 2. So I'd be looking for this to come up here 3, give me a big 3, something very sharp for the 4, and then go up for the 5 is what I'd be looking, assuming it's not going to do a WXY. But so you can anticipate that because of this. So because this, if that holds as the 2, is just, we're not advancing the trend. We're just going sideways. All right. So 1, bring it back a little bit lower. I'm a buyer. Well, there's your money wave, right? You're trying to get it per this as the pivot low here. If this is 1, 2, you're trying to get into the 3 of the 3 at this degree. So you're looking, there's your money ball. 3, 4, 5. So that you'd be seeking this 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are you up there? 5 of 3. Get the gist. Oh, shit, we have to go 2 hours. All right, now actually I'm glad I did that. If this is going to be 1, 2, and this is going to go 3, 4, oh fuck, come here, 5, right? If this count holds, if that's 1, 2, well, that's not going to be 3. Right, so you're going to be looking for this to complete as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be the 1 of 3 at the larger degree. So there's huge upside here because what are you looking for? You'd be after that looking for this to go big money ball up to here. Take that one out. Now you're back working off of this one. What are we trying to do here? Right, get to that median line. Could be here. Hopefully that made sense here. Let's go back out to the 4. So it really comes back to where are we here, right? Because you can complete this a couple of different ways. And I'm not, without spending more time with it, Arcaduce. I'm not 100%, but we're just looking in the broad strokes here. This clearly looks 4-ish. I think you've completed here. So either this carries on. We live with the shallow 2, which for something as popular as Sol is, it wouldn't be outrageous for us to be that shallow on the 2, but certainly you can look at it and say, boy, I sure would like the 2 a little bit lower, I mean, if it was offered. So then you have to think, well, what would cause Solana to sell off like that? Well, essentially the unforeseen. So we're going to put the 2 here. I suppose the other possibility is it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is. Would that even work? That may not be far enough. Well, it could work. I'd leave it there, and I'd want to. I don't have enough here yet. It's not clear to me that we're done here. That's a 2. This could be double. Right? We were just looking at it, so it could be W, X, Y, and we start. So ideally, you'd want it lower, right? You would just be more comfortable. You'd be aggressive down here, whereas here I'd be checking it too often. I'd be like, how's it doing? What did we do today? Right? I don't like to trade that way where I'm. It's a little bit of hopium creeps in. I hope that goes. Down here, I don't think that way. Down here, I've got an entry. I got to stop. I'm comfortable. Here, I don't love it, so I'm uncomfortable. Right? There's no reason to be uncomfortable in the market. Right? You shouldn't be. If you're uncomfortable in the market, you're taking a trade like that you're not sure about. So what creeps in? A little greed, a little fear, and a little hopium. Oh, I hope I'm right. I hope that's a very unusual 2 because Solana is so popular and is so revolutionary that I'm going to go ahead with a 2 that doesn't even make the 23. Do you feel the hopium creeping in there? Well, I hope that I'm right there because I could work all that out. It'd just as easily be a WXY and we come down lower. So it's a 38 even. Again, nothing says it has to come down here. Right? It's just, what does it tend to do? All right, we got to stop there. All right, so really some challenging work here today, guys. I hope we didn't lose every single person here. I know I got stuck on that one, which is good. Oh, good. Okay, guys. All right. Well, so here's how I'll leave it here. We will come back. We've got at least 6 or 7. And if I open up tomorrow to alts plus trads, we'll get all alts. But we'll look and see if we get a combo of the 2. So for any of you that check back on these, members, of course, right? But for any of you YouTube subs that are viewing here, you'll have a second half. There's a lot of alts still to come. We got BAT and Atom and Neo and ETH and Wax, and we got all sorts of more. And if we open it up, there'll be more tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow. I apologize for the late start, and I did get a little stuck on that one. Here's what I will do. Tomorrow, when we start, I will have gone back and worked through the count on, I think it was Phantom, right? It was Phantom. I'll work through that count so I can be confident in what I'm showing you and not worried about boring you guys to death while I make the sausage. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow, 11:30 sharp. And until then, you guys have a good afternoon. Oh yeah, I forgot. Jeez, thanks. What did I do with that money crypto? All right, don't forget this, guys. This is still going until the 3rd. We had a lot of people over the weekend, particularly take advantage of the 12-monther, which is that takes your monthly, obviously, right down to the lowest. But any of these are attractive, right? If you can save money, why not? Right. So the question here, the other thing to note here is, not everybody does this, but so if you were to take the 15% off of your first month, it will stay that way. It'll be 15% off the second month, and however long you stay with us. Not everybody does that. They'll typically do 15 on the first month and then take you right back to the full pop on the second. We're consistent with it. So, right. So if you did a 6-monther at 25, when that renewed, should you decide you wanted to renew, the second renew could be at that. All right. So we'll give you some options there, but we will run this through midnight Wednesday for those of you that, are drawn to this kind of approach and want to come in and work on your skill set. I remind you that now as Monte Crypto's work it's becoming very, very popular amongst the members. It's not just Elliott, right? I always want you guys to have this skill set. Like Monte Crypto he's a certified Elliottician. He has this this skill set, but he has adapted things that he was doing on before. He and I started working together. He's bringing in all of that experience and he's adding to it. It would be sort of like me adding the median lines to the Elliott work, right? Which the median lines are not traditionally found in Elliott's work, right? It's more channels. So he's adding something to the mix here, and we have a lot of members are gravitating to that because it makes sense, right? It's very logical approach to support and resistance, and then he gets really creative with median lines. So that you can catch more of his work on Wednesday. Don't miss that. He's got his own, what we call it, Monty's Corner. We were going to take a look at the Discord, but we run so long. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, Monty. And just kind of show people what's in there, because I think, the one thing you can always do is you can come in for free and then look around. You can't get access to everything, but you'll see that we have a lot of content. Okay. With that, I wish you guys a good afternoon. Don't forget, this is going to run through midnight Wednesday. If you're on the fence, it's a good time to do it. All right, guys. Thanks to all of those that had requests and tipped. We appreciate that. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.